right? You walk across that stage, that moment is what, a minute?
That's about it.
But this entire process was 2 years.
Yeah.
And all of the concepts, all of the connections, to me, that's far greater than the 1 minute that I walked across that stage. And so I think we just have to be very mindful of just being open and like willing and receptive, all of the things, because the promise is cool, but the process is greater. So y'all.
Hello, welcome back to the Peaches and Cream podcast.
Where two best friends navigate life and discover purpose through
Sisterhood.
Welcome back, season 2, episode 2. We in the house.
Yes, you guys showed us so much love on our first episode. Y'all got that momentum going within us. So we're super excited for episode number 2. We got some fun topics to talk to y'all about today. But y'all, let's
dive right in. You know what we gotta start with.
Sweet and sour.
Sweet and sour.
What's your sweet and sour? Make sure y'all let us know what y'all sweet and sour.
Y'all gotta like engage with us because we want to talk to y'all too.
Talk with y'all.
Drop in the comments. Your sweet and sours.
But we'll
start off.
Go ahead.
No, you got it, sister.
I will say my sour that y'all will probably pick up on through this episode. I'm having like a really bad sinus infection. Weather is just like up and down in the DMV right now. One day it's cold, one day it's sunny, one day the flowers are blooming. It's just a lot going on. So I'm feeling super congested right up here in this area. But life is going to keep pushing forward nonetheless. So that's, I'm going to start off with my sour. And what you doing?
My sour. Y'all, I was really thinking about my sour and I fear I don't really have one. Everything's sweet, okay? Ain't shit sour around here. Let me think. Let me be for real.
Or start with your sweet.
Yeah, let me start with my sweet. My sweet is a couple of things. Y'all always know I got a couple sweets. If y'all haven't caught on to that right now, y'all know I always got about 2, 3
gratitude.
Very much a grateful girl.
Yes.
So, okay, so this is like me being on my spiritual astrology, whatever you want to call it. So it is definitely the season of the air signs. If y'all don't know, if you are a Libra, Gemini, or an Aquarius, we are in our winning season. So please absorb all of that. Now, more specifically for my Aquas, for my Aquarius, we are in the year of, it's really a decade of the Aquarius. But May 1st was the start of a new era. So the moon is in Scorpio, the full moon is in Scorpio. So they encourage us to really just like get out of our heads, stop overthinking, and you're really just gonna continue to see nothing but growth, whether it's professionally, personally. And I will say that has really been my testament. Like I don't know what it is, but more recently I haven't been wanting to just like share everything on the internet. Definitely in my 20s, I was the type to put everything on the internet, and I really didn't care. But now I feel like if it's something sacred to me, I choose to kind of keep it to myself, like really let it be concrete, and then I'm like, okay, let me share it with the world. Now, the people around me, the people that I love, they know, but just for everybody to see, because I don't know, I just feel like, what y'all thinking? Like, y'all praying on my downfall? Because these are things that I'm actively working hard for.
Yeah.
So, I will say that, okay, I'm like doing these programs through Howard, PNC Bank, and Morgan. So I got accepted to go to a conference. I'm very excited about that. So right now, if it's not me trying to pivot with my career, or if it's not entrepreneurship, I'm really actually uninterested. Uninterested in whatever the hell it is. It has to be in alignment. So I just feel like I'll be transparent. This is kind of like my sour. There have been some internal roles that I've applied to within my job, and God said no. I feel like it's a God thing. I don't even feel like it's the people in my job telling me no. I feel like it's a higher power saying like that is not in alignment. And so it took me a minute to like sit with that, because I don't like rejection. I feel like if I apply for something, it should be mine because I applied for it. I'm great. I have that heavy Aquarius energy on me. And so then I was like, bro, let's do the math. Like, when I did the math on the roles, it was actually like they were spitting on the role. Like you would have been shitting on my talent because I know I'm worth way more. So I'm really glad that I didn't get those positions. And so because of that, I have been applying for other things that are more in alignment, and those things have been a green light. Those things have actually worked out for me. So I feel like actually this was meant for me. So those are definitely my sweets. I feel like I'm just kind of putting myself out there. They say also in this season of the air signs, make yourself more visible. Like it's not the time to be all ducked off and to yourself. I mean, obviously if you need to restore yourself, that's different. But as far as like, don't sleep on your talents. And so I think that is just, I'm just in my winning season, y'all. I'm in my winning season. Everything that is meant for me is for me. And it's just really been refreshing to see that, okay, I'm getting recognized for the things that truly mean something to me. And so
that's a good feeling.
Yeah, it feels amazing. So yeah, my sour would just be like a little bit of rejection, but I had to like redirect that energy into the things that actually mean the most to me.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, I've been feeling the same. Whatever the energy is, I think they said Uranus is in Gemini for the next 7 years. So the thing that's been like consistent with what I've been reading is just like it's new beginnings. Like this past 10 years of like what felt like suffering or sacrifice or just really being like, I'll forever be a student, but I feel like I definitely have been like a student these past 10 years, just like learning a lot, being in positions where I'm not necessarily like in the leadership roles per se, but just like taking in my career, learning how to better my communication, learning how to perfect my craft even the more. And so I feel like that's what it's been pulling me to like come out of that, and now it's time for people to hear me speak, like share my voice. So that's my sweet. I really have taken a leap of faith. You guys will see. I don't really want to announce it right now, but y'all will see what's about to take place. It's about to be a major shift. I took a huge leap of faith for myself, and every week I feel like opportunities have been presenting themselves and things that I know that like I'm prepared for this. Like I know that I've really been taking the time to learn and pour into my craft. So I'm super excited about that. I also feel like I've just been having more just peace of mind. Like it's kind of like Natalia saying, outside of things that are not aligned with what God has shown me that I'm supposed to be doing, I've really just been still. Like you're not gonna really see me out doing things without intentionality right now, and I love this season for me. I feel like I'm much more comfortable with the quiet season, not really fighting it as much, and I'm proud of myself. Like I'm really proud of how I'm handling life right now. So it's very sweet.
Very sweet.
Very, very sweet. I wore my green today, if you guys are wondering, because it's Mental Health Awareness Month, and green is for mental health. I wanted to ask you, Nat, how's your mental health?
Thanks for asking, Dom. I feel like overall, so, and I hate to keep bringing up the same stuff, but I think it needs to be acknowledged because sometimes people have a lot on their plate. And so one of my coworkers, he knows I'm in grad school, and he was just like, how are you? Like, how's school going? And I was like, 4.0, what the fuck? Y'all, I'm about to get my first 4.0 in my entire college academic career. I have not seen a 4.0 since like high school. Like, what is you talking about? I'm not a 4.0.
Respect on it.
But I didn't even tell him that. Again, I told y'all I'm on this like, keep it to myself. So I was just like, it's been going really good. Yeah. And he was like, I mean, I can tell. And I was like, how can you tell? And he was like, I mean, like, usually when people are battling a full-time job and getting their graduate degree, he was like, at some point I see them kind of crumble. He's like, at some point I see them walk in and I can just see it on them, the hair be all over the place.
You don't look like what you're going through.
Literally, what's his point? He's like, you do not look like what you're going through. And so I think aside from that, I definitely have my moments. Like, I definitely have cried a lot during this season. I'm not gonna sit here and act like everything's just been like smooth sailing, because it's been very challenging. However, I can say, because I have other tools that I've implemented, I know how to combat that. Like, I remember there was a lady, she came and spoke to some of the students, I've told you this, and she was saying how one of the things that differentiates a lot of people is their faith. So she was like, because that's what she studies faith at Howard University. And so she was saying that when people have faith, no matter what the religion is, whatever the spirituality is, but they have a higher calling that they rely on, they know they are able to get out of their trials and tribulations, as opposed to those who have nothing, or they don't believe in a higher power. And so I have those tools, like my faith. I have, like we talked about in the last episode, I have a nutritionist, I have a therapist. Baby, I'm in that therapy session faithfully. And so I can say, shout out to Dr. Ashley.
We appreciate y'all so much.
Because I be yapping on them calls, and it's like, that helps my mental health. So it may not be 100%, but I feel like overall, like, I'm good. I can say overall, I'm good. So thank you for asking. How was yours?
Yes, of course. You gotta do those check-ins with your friends.
Yes.
See how their mental health.
Yeah.
I think my mental health is pretty good. I've been seeing a therapist too, and I think the last episode I mentioned that I was relocated out of my home, and it was a very stressful situation, but I also am like, wow, you actually, like, you did it. Like, you faced it, you still continue to do things that were good for you. I don't think I handled it, like, perfectly, but I feel like,
but how can you handle something perfectly when you're going through it for the first time ever in your life?
Exactly. So
like,
I just
you
feel
gotta
like
give yourself grace. You handled that shit, my nigga.
Yeah,
you handled that. Yeah.
I handled it. I actually met with my therapist today, and so I hadn't really been saying out loud. There are some things that I privately felt like I should have handled that better, and just realizing, like, no, you really were under stress, and she was pretty much just speaking to the fact that a lot of times, when we're so used to being resilient, we won't name our stress, like, because we're just used to, like, now I gotta keep on going, I gotta do it, like, it is what it is. So I think hindsight, I'm able to see, like, nah, it was definitely affecting me, but it's just like, I used to, like, binge drink, I used to just be super impulsive, just blowing money or different things like that, and I didn't see myself do those things. Like the fact that, like, okay, I was journaling, or you know, I still saw a therapist, or still went to see my trainer, or okay, let me go hang out with Natalia, and let me hang out with Dallas and cuddle the puppy. Like,
it's his birthday today.
Oh, it's today?
It's today.
You left him at home.
Horrible mother. Like, my
Who
sister just texted me because she has his, you know, she was with him during his shock, so she said, tell Dallas I said happy birthday. I'm like,
oh my gosh, my little Taurus baby.
He's a Taurus. But yes, she came inside Dallas. What else helped you? I know, it just dawned on me.
Yeah, just faith too.
Faith,
really, you know, being in my word, or devotionals, or, you know, going to a service, just different ways to, like, practice what I preach. You know, I'm on this couch. Y'all, we ain't never. I told him that I'm never getting rid of this couch. Y'all can't. I don't know if y'all can tell, but this couch is so uncomfortable. It's so hard. But it was like
it a little bit.
I'm gonna pull it off the wall. But this is my grounding. This always reminds me where we started.
To get rid of it.
No, I'm not getting rid of it.
She don't want to get rid of this damn couch.
Because if I get rid of it, then it's gonna be so sad.
I know.
So many memories here on this couch. But
yeah, this is literally, it's very grounding, and I appreciate it.
Yeah.
However, every time I sit on it, it's a constant reminder of the struggle. We came to
DC. We was doing this every day.
We had
no yap for hours.
We didn't have no TV. We just had this couch. We'd be in our rooms
just
watching TV on our laptops. That's it. Now
look at us. That's a good transition. We want to talk to y'all about growth versus fixed mindset. Because it's also that space too, you know, at the top of the year, people really be gung-ho on, like, my goals, and this is what I'm going to do, my New Year's resolutions. And then around this time, things could get a little sticky. And just understanding like the importance of like the actions behind the words that we put out there. It can be very easy to be like, yeah, I want to make 6 figures, but like what how do you plan to do it, like when, like what's like, you have to really be specific in those things and also put forth the work and the effort. And so we wanted to talk about growth versus fixed mindset with y'all today, because I would like to say that a lot of our success that we have been seeing now, I mean, me and Natalia have been talking about these things for years.
Like, we were in our 20s, undergrad, UNT days, we've been talking about the same things, but I feel like, well, that's the difference between growth and a fixed mindset. Growth is believing that, okay, I can achieve these things through practice, through intelligence. I can learn to obtain these things with a mindset that it can happen. Whereas fixed is like, oh, this is just the way things are. It is what it is. And so that limits your abilities to be able to achieve those things. And so I feel like that's one of the things that I would even say like ground us in our friendship is like, okay, I know that if Dom says she's gonna do something, it's gonna happen and I'm gonna see her work towards those things and vice versa. Like, we're not ones to just talk. You have faith without works is dead. I always say that's one of my favorite scriptures. Faith without works is dead. And so I think even for me, I'll be transparent. Like, there's been so many things that I'm like, I want this, I want that. But even now, I feel like I'm kind of having to restart. Like, I definitely have more knowledge than what I once had when it comes to being a business owner. That's one of the reasons why I'm getting my MBA. But I realized with my business, I had like gaps in my infrastructure. So that's why I was like, okay, let me join that program so I can see like, okay, this is how you properly start your business. You do need a business plan. You do need to separate your finances, your personal from your business finances. You do need to have the LLC. You do like all of those things, like they matter. And so I'm not saying I didn't have everything figured out or I didn't have some things, but now I'm like, okay, when I do my business and I relaunch, or not even relaunch, when I start my skincare line, I want all my ducks in a row. And so it does take a lot of work. It takes a lot of patience. And I think that's the issue with today's generation. It's like that instant gratification. And unfortunately, social media has made it seem like we can get shit tomorrow. Like, oh, they obtained their success overnight. And that's usually 9 times out of 10, that's really not the case. It's very rare somebody achieves success overnight. Most of the times, most homeowners, you don't really achieve your first home until you're 38 years old. Most people don't make $1 million until they're 50. So I just want to normalize that it just takes time. It's a lot of work, and you have to ask yourself, like, what are the tools I'm utilizing to get to where I want to be? And so it's been a long process. Like, even Dom, I've seen her go through the licensing of getting her LPC. I've seen her go through grad school. Like, she didn't wake up one day and just be like, yeah, guys, I'm a fucking we ball. Like, I'm gonna go ahead and just do this today. No, it's been an entire process.
For sure.
And so,
and even within that, like, because social work or even counseling has like a reputation of like they don't get paid. I had a lot of people who would used to be like, that's what you want to do? Like, you ain't gonna make no money in that field. Like, oh, that's good that you're doing that for the people, but like, you know, you're not gonna make no money. And I've always had a growth mindset, like, not only I'm probably gonna be making more money than you. Like, because it's not just gonna be my social work degree. It's not just gonna be me being a counselor. Like, I've always seen that bigger picture for myself. And not allowing, or being able to also recognize when people are projecting their own fixed concepts onto you. One of the things that I also wanted to kind of mention that is like, you know, this platform is about sisterhood and purpose, and sometimes we can even have a fixed mindset within our friendships. Like, me and Natalia have known each other, I was probably 14, I think, when I met Natalia. We both have changed significantly, and like, let's say Natalia's like, oh, now I want to go do this MBA, and I'm looking at her like, well, I thought you were an esthetician. Like, you're not going to just do the lashes thing. Like, it's also important not only to have it within yourself, but also being mindful of what you project onto other people and giving people room to grow. That's changed our dynamic in different ways. Like, right now, she's in grad school, super heavy, so us putting out a podcast episode every week is probably not the most realistic thing. And being able to pivot, having a growth mindset. She's in grad school right now, so let's pivot and fit something that works better within that versus having a fixed mindset. Like, no, we said every Monday. I don't give a fuck about what paper you have to write.
Like, damn. Yeah, but that's very valid because I don't have a lot of capacity sometimes.
Yes.
And so I'm really, really appreciative of the ones who understand that. Like, the workload that I have, I don't even feel the need to like tell people like, oh guys, I have a 10-page research paper due for this class. That like I just be like, I got shit to do, y'all. I gotta duck off. And so for it to have friendships, specifically like our friendship, where I don't even have to explain it. And I think it is helpful that she's done the process already, but also for the friends who've never done the process, like just being open-minded and giving your friends grace and letting them grow and letting them evolve and learning the new version that they are putting out in the world is very important because she's also not the same person I met at 14 years old. Like, I would hope she's not. In fact, and I think it's a tricky situation too because I've had friends where we've outgrown each other. It's like they don't want to let you outgrow who they initially exactly. It's like you met me when I was in my season of partying, binge drinking, throwing ass titties out. You know, like y'all met me then,
and she's still in there.
But please don't be surprised when I want to dress like this.
Yes.
I'm in my classy shit too now, and I feel like they wouldn't let me be this version. Like now I'm in different rooms. Like I love the network that I have at Morgan. I love being in front of people teaching. I'm an educator now. I have kids, students who look up to me, who are inspired by me. So I had to change. I can't be doing the same things I once did. Yeah. And so for the ones who get that, I really just like, just want to give you a big kiss.
No, seriously.
Because not everybody is able to grow with you.
Yeah, especially when, I think we've mentioned this on here before, like we had shift in friendships and things like that. And I think the biggest shift was individuals who weren't able to have a growth mindset with the direction I was going. Like if you still wanted to be stuck in viewing me that way, I had to move on because that when it comes to these goals that we're going after, you have got to guard your mind. You have to protect your temple from music I'm listening to, what I'm following, what I'm not following to, the people that I'm choosing to be around. Like if I get on the phone with you and you want to spend 30 minutes to an hour talking about the nigga that you're never gonna leave, that's a waste of my time at this particular season of my life. There may have been a time where I would probably been there too, like, yeah, girl, and my nigga, but now my mindset is in a different space, and so everybody is in different stages, and so just being able to recognize, like, okay, right now I gotta protect my peace and my mindset. Some of the leaps of faith that I'm taking, I'm already dealing with my own inner critic. And so if someone who doesn't really know much, just throwing stuff out there, like, you sure you want to do that? Like, that's going to be really hard. They may say that in that moment, but they don't know the whole week. I'm thinking like, damn, it probably is going to be hard. Should I? So I have to be mindful, like, I can't be around that person.
And it's like,
they got a fixed mindset. I can't be around her right now. Like, I got to be intentional. So I used to kind of hate on people who would do that, like, you know, you don't hear from them or they, you know, separate themselves or whatever. I didn't really understand it, but now I get it. Like, sometimes you really do have to just block out the noise to fulfill whatever it is that you're going after.
And I think that's the season I'm in. Like, I have so many things, and I mean, like, sometimes it may be different, but right now it's like, okay, I just wrapped up my final exam for the semester today.
Yay!
Praise God. Yeah, so it's like now maybe I can shift into like being more social, being out more. But when I'm in those seasons of like, okay, I have to get shit done, I can't listen to somebody project on me or tell me this, or maybe they have their own insecurities about their life. And I'm listening to them like, oh, well, I don't know, because, you know, if I do this and it probably ain't gonna end up like that, or then that to me rubs off.
It does.
It rubs off like you are who you hang around with.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so, and also it's like I cannot pour from an empty cup. So sometimes it's like if I already know I'm at my max capacity and this person requires a lot of attention, a lot of time, a lot of pouring into, I also may have to just kind of like separate myself a little bit. So there's so many different elements, but I think the biggest thing is just like walking away and like just being open to newness, open to learning. I love the word ingenuity. I feel like, it means just like being innovative, creative. They describe like a lot of Black people as having ingenuity because all of the resilience we've had to go through. And so I feel like that's the season I'm in. And so with that being said, I think it's a lot of, okay, well, how do I achieve that? And so one of the things I learned was a smarter goal. So you have the SMART goals, which for those who don't know, it is, hold on,
it's like an acronym.
It's an acronym, so I don't want to mess it up.
And if you're, well, I mean, not only therapy, like definitely education, they use SMART goals for a lot of different everything now.
So it's specific, measurable, realistic.
Yeah.
Maybe I need 5 more months to hit this goal. So I think those also help you to have like concrete, it's data, it's quantitative, rather than just like speaking something out there, like how are we actually going to achieve these goals? We can say we have a growth mindset, but again, like what's the work we're putting behind it? Make it tangible and specific, measurable, all of the things.
All of that. And it really does work. On a side note, I want to give a shout out to the brand Toast. This is a mocktail champagne. It has green tea, ginger, and maybe chamomile. I can't remember.
It tastes amazing.
But it tastes really good with a little bubbly in there. Drinks taste better in any type of cute glass like this. But that stuff really does work too, because also like you could start to doubt yourself too, like, oh, I've been putting this on my vision board. Let's say like every year I keep putting this on my vision board.
I've been 4.0 on the vision board since I started grad school.
And it's like keep putting it on the don't stop. Put it on. I was putting LLC for at least 3 years. I'm gonna get my LLC, and like now the time was right, because realistically I needed to evaluate some things, like, okay, you need to complete getting your license, you need to work on these things, like, are you actually ready to start doing the business actions? And now the time has aligned. And so I also think it just helps people to keep that faith going with whatever it is that you're going after, when you can really make those things very specific.
And to have something to like reference. To go back and reference it. And okay, I love my vision board. So I have 2 vision boards. I usually make, it's a weird thing I do, but I usually make 2 vision boards, not even on purpose, like unintentionally every year. And they usually have different things on it. And so I'll always go back to each one and see like, okay, especially at the end of the year, like the last quarter, I'm like, okay, well, we didn't get this done. And so I'll try to make sure I put that on next year. And to your point, and then just keep doing it, because I feel like also you need to see it. Maybe that's like a little bit of the manifestation. It's just like seeing it over and over again. And then it's like at some point you put those smarter goals with it, and it's gonna happen. And I think it allows you to see like sometimes things aren't meant to happen maybe that year. Maybe it's not in a 2-year span. It may be a couple years until you actually are able to obtain it. But it's just to reference it and let you know, like, we haven't forgotten about that goal.
And I think we also downplay, like, the process, too. Like,
there's a process in the promise.
There's a process in the promise.
Okay, talk about it.
That part right there, because a lot of the things that I'm doing right now, like, now I probably am putting it more out there. Like, this is my season. Like how she said at the very beginning, where air signs are being called to put ourselves out there. We've been doing this podcast for the past, like, 2-3 years or whatever. 2, 3, 2024? Yeah, 2 years. Anywho.
Measurable.
Yes. I think in the past, I would, as far as like what I wanted to do with Journey to Authenticity, I was comparing myself to what I saw people doing on social media, not giving myself credit for what was taking place behind the scenes. That process is so much more important than the product that you guys are gonna see now, because I know my stuff. Like, I know that I took time to pour into my craft. Every book y'all see on the shelf, I have read for myself. It's not, it's not something that I'm trying to put on a front, try to get likes, trying to get follows for. It's because each person that I connect with, I know it's a divine connection. God has me to cross paths with people for a reason. And I don't play with people's lives. Like, I'm not trying to play in order. Now, granted, yes, I want to value myself. So there is a price to what I'm doing. But at the same token, if people are paying me, they deserve top tier quality. And I think shifting that mindset for me helps me to understand that, like, the vision board, yes, that is helpful with the manifestation. But some of the stuff that I put on, let's say I put like a man on there. Am I the woman for that man yet? So like, God may be working on me building my patience or building on my communication skills. So that was my win for that vision this year. And then maybe next year the man, is gonna come in, but just really understanding, like, everything that we're going after, it's a process to it, and you can't skip it, you can't rush it, and you can most definitely tell when people have tried to skip through some steps of the process.
Yes. The process is just important as the promise.
For sure.
I know, even for me, I definitely would consider this season the process.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't even know how all this happened. It happened so quick. And I think when you open yourself up to newness, you just never know what it's gonna look like. You never know how difficult. You just don't know. And I think that's actually one of the first things my professor said to us when we went to new student orientation. He was like, please, in this process, have a growth mindset. Because it was like, you may come in here thinking like, because the MBA can be so broad. So he's like, you may think like, I want to work for blah, 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 Fortune 500 finance. And then you go through this process and you may get connected with this person and something else aligns even the more with who you are as an individual. And so I always just like, that resonated with me. And so I was telling, I call her like my grandma. She's not really like my grandma. She has that energy. But I was like, girl, I don't even know. I'm not going to say all the things I'm working on because it's like very private. But there's something big that I'm working on. And I was like, girl, I didn't even know what the hell this was before I started grad school. Never even heard of this. And so she was just like very encouraging. And so, I don't know, it's just been a unique process. And I think don't skip that.
Far greater. I get excited in seasons like this. Like, I don't know what's about to happen. I have no idea what's coming. But like, anytime God put me in these real uncomfortable, unknown, like, you have no choice but to just surrender it. It's always such a beautiful like rainbow in the end of it all. So
it all makes sense.
It all will make sense. I'm very excited to see where this process for both of us is taking us. And I think this is also a good reflection of our growth, because I wouldn't have been adamant about like, enjoy the process. The process got me to start speaking this way. Because I used to fight the process or be so eager to get to the end line that I didn't really see how much the process was teaching me. Like, even when I think back on grad school, like, I have I turned up the grad school. Like, I remember certain stuff, but I will say, like, majority of my memory of grad school was more so just about, like, my interning clients that I came across, lessons that I learned, different things like that. That's more so what I'm carrying today when I'm doing what I'm doing at work versus the day of my graduation, which was, still significant, but the process was definitely far more influential.
The little things, just meeting the deadlines. I feel like that's even translated on work. I'm like, okay, no, like, we gotta get this shit done. Actually, there isn't a time in a day. You really don't have an excuse. Sometimes you do have to say no. Sometimes you can't be everywhere. Sometimes you need to sit your black ass down and get your work done. Maybe you do need to read a couple more books so you can be more knowledgeable. Like, all of the things, and you're not missing out on anything. I always remember, like, when I couldn't make it to somewhere say you want to go to New York, they're like, New York don't be there. And I'm like, it is though.
Yeah,
but like those
is.
moments, like those are critical. And so I feel like you just gotta get shit done, y'all. Just get it done.
Get her done.
It's no excuse. No excuses in 2026.
Get her done.
We get this shit done.
And do a little self-audit. Like, audit the things around you from yourself. What am I doing? What do I need more of from physically, spiritually, financially, emotionally, things of that nature? And then do an audit of the people that you're surrounding yourself with. Pay attention to the conversations that you're having. Like, how is that impacting how you're thinking and viewing yourself? You know? I know it made people a little bit uncomfortable when I started getting quieter. I couldn't go to things, or it had said I gotta say no to things, but that also revealed like who's gonna elevate with me, and who was just like, you know, all right, see y'all in another life.
Yeah.
Going into some hot topics. There's a couple different things going on right now that we want to touch on. You know, my girl's an Aquarius, so we want to talk about one of our fave hot girls, Texas.
Yes. Mind you, I don't know if y'all into Zodiac, but my girl, her birthday is a day before mine. We're both from Texas, both hot girls. Megan Thee Stallion. And you know who else is an Aquarius? Klay. How y'all feeling? Me personally, and I don't know if this is a little trauma, but my last relationship, it was Aquarius on Aquarius crime.
Ooh.
And I made a promise, a vow to myself that I would never date another Aquarius again. And I just feel like sis, she figured that out respectfully. And
why do you feel like Aquarius are not a match?
I think, okay, so one of the things that they say, a negative connotation about Aquarius, is that we are detached, like emotionally detached. And so I personally disagree. I don't think it's an emotional attachment or detachment. I think it's more or less just we are kind of just focused in our own little bubble. I think that we're really self-sufficient. We love to just do us. And so now maybe an unhealed Aquarius, it can be bad. But I have taken the time to go to therapy. I feel like I'm very much emotionally regulated. And so I don't think this is a level of detachment, but I still have those isms. Like I definitely can be in my own world. Like, especially like now this season, I told you I could be like learning about goddamn concepts of the HRIS system for hours. I could just be like deep diving or like on some nerdy shit. I'd really be cool by myself. And so also Aquarius, we're just like very free. People tend to gravitate towards us. And so I think sometimes like that level, it's just those components, they just don't always align. And so I think that's what we saw. I don't know that he like completely was anticipating on playing her. I think that he did genuinely like her. I just don't know that he was the most honest and let her know like, hey, I'm just really not in a season where I can be monotonous. And I think that can be an Aquarius trait, is the monotony. Some Aquarius really just don't do well in relationships. I saw this and it was like Aquarius are either better single or in polygamy. And so I don't know how true that is. I'm still trying to figure that shit out for myself. Not that I'm into polygamy, but I really do. I don't mind being single. But I don't want to get comfortable being single because I enjoy partnership too. But I say all that to say that I just don't think that it's a match, y'all. I just don't think two Aquariuses go together real good. And I think it was kind of like a recipe for disaster. But with that being said, I try to look at dating it as an experience and as a learning lesson.
And I think she did a good job of really modeling that. Like, you still see her pursuing her career. I got to see her on Broadway. She did an amazing job. And I'm pretty sure before she put this out on media, these things she was already figuring out behind the scenes. And I feel like her and even Tiana Taylor, like, they're great examples as far as just like not losing yourself within a relationship, especially if y'all haven't gotten married yet. Like, just continuing to go after that, and then gracefully, you know, if it's time, bow out, and you know, have your standards of what you are willing and not willing to deal with in a relationship. So I feel like
non-negotiables.
It's non-negotiable. Like you have to be a man of integrity. Like you can't just be sneaking and geeking. Great man. It seems like they both young, still got a lot, to give, and I'm sure it was hard. I know how Aquarius. My dad's an Aquarius. I have so many Aquarius. Pretty much most of my uncles on my dad's side are Aquarius. I've attempted to talk because Aquarius and Gemini, we definitely are very compatible. I feel like it works better in friendship. That was kind of what I came across. Like you really want to be a polygamist, but you're not admitting that, and you're trying to cover that up. And that's kind of where my attention got lost, because I too have some tendencies to myself, but I'm going to be direct and give you an opportunity and free will to decide whether or not you want to deal with that, versus I'm gonna just do it behind your back and then hope that you don't find out. And we always find out.
Yeah.
So it's no point of trying to do all of that.
Done in the dark always.
It always comes to light, especially if you're a celebrity.
Like, what was you doing, my boy?
Yeah, especially if you're a celebrity.
I don't know. I feel like, girl, get you another. That's how I feel.
And
Get
she
you
will.
another. Get you another.
And
like,
she will. She bounce back every time.
Yeah, you got to. What I don't like, this is what it really ruffles my feathers. Is how people are talking about her bodies. Like, that shit is so weird to me.
Like, who she been with?
Yeah.
But
it's like, what?
They really be hating on her.
They do. I'm
That
like,
girl got enough problems.
right. I'm like, and I don't care if she slept with 1,000 niggas. What is it to you? Like,
how many bodies they think he got?
Exactly. As an NBA player, like, let's be so for real. They're like, oh, she's been with this person. And so what? If he was with Coco Jones, he was with this girl, that girl. Why are we not? I even saw some dude go so far as he had like a chart of every single person that she dated and was like calling her
You
out.
have way too much time on your hands.
Like, literally. So I don't like that. I really don't. I feel like
too much time.
It's okay to have conversation about it, because we even kind of had like a little heated debate at work about it, and I was like, let me walk away from this, because it was given very much like toxic male masculinity opinions versus feminines, or like just a feminine take perspective. And I was like, I didn't subscribe to this, so I'm gonna go ahead and walk away, because I forgot for a second I was at work. And I'm like, I really want to cuss all of y'all out, but all of the men, that's the angle they were coming at. Like, well, she was with this person, that person, and I even saw it on the internet. I'm like, why are y'all so pressed about
her vagina?
Her coochie. You want some
Like,
that
where is
coochie
what she
too?
got going on?
Why are you so pressed? But my thing is, as a young single woman, you are encouraged. I encourage women to date. And what you do with your body, please go reference our last episode. What you do with your body is what you do with your body at the end of the day. And I'm like, it sucks because she is a celebrity, so everything is put on the forefront. But in all actuality, we're doing the same thing. We're all dating multiple people.
Yeah.
And so
it just happens
to be public. So, but again, she's being attacked because she's a woman. But if she was a man, then nobody would be saying what they're saying about her. It's a double standard, and I don't like that. So get off that girl's coochie, y'all.
That part right there.
Get off that girl coochie.
Stop worrying about that woman coochie. Let her live her best life. We appreciate y'all sharing what y'all did. Y'all didn't even have to let us in that way. And ultimately, at the end of the day, Klay and Megan ain't thinking about us.
Okay.
They thinking about you. They don't give a fuck about the chart that you created. Like, them people is not worried about us. Another hot topic I want to discuss. Y'all, they shut Spirit down.
What? That got me sick. I literally made a TikTok about how I was so sick about this. Like, at least like 10, 15 people commented talking about how sick they were. A couple of people said they lost their job due to that, though, which is super unfortunate. I'm like, I haven't really had the time to deep dive and figure out what exactly happened, but I just know the memories that I hold with Spirit are so significant. When I was broke, didn't barely have $1 to my name, and I just knew I needed to travel somewhere.
Man.
Spirit always held it down for me.
Man.
Always
you
held it
don't
down.
Stuff as much stuff into that carry-on
Then
bag.
I be mad whenever they're like, oh, you're over the limit. I'm
No,
pissed, carrying stuff on the plane.
Man, a dime to
Literally.
I probably traveled to Miami or even, I think I used to take it to like California and Vegas. I probably have $100 to my name. But Spirit was going to make sure that I got to where I needed to be safely.
Yeah, never had any issues.
I really hate that for the people.
Yeah, me too. I'm like, can we just put a little bucket together and I can buy? Let me buy back.
Yeah. Peaches and cream, we're gonna buy.
Yeah, we're gonna Peaches and cream airline.
We're gonna buy.
Yeah, no, so many good memories on that airline, and nobody could ever make me hate Spirit. Matter of fact, rest in peace to Mo3 if you're from Dallas and you know who Mo3 is. And one of my Spirit flights, he was on my flight, and he used to always advocate because it was like tearing him up. They were like, "You on Spirit? How you say you got money? How you on Spirit?" And he was like, "I don't give a fuck. If I got $1 billion, I'm still gonna take Spirit." And sure enough, I'm catching a little Spirit flight from, I think it was from Baltimore to Dallas. He's from Dallas, and we were on the same exact flight. And I was like, should I be like a fangirl and get a video with him? I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. And swear, literally a couple weeks later, he passed away.
Yeah.
But yeah, the real ones know. The real ones know how Spirit always held it down.
Ain't never did nothing wrong for me.
Yeah.
Another hot topic, y'all. Peaches and Cream is having a live event. I'm about to wait for doing Santana.
Yeah.
Yeah. What you mean? We taking over the DMV.
Your city next.
Your city is definitely
Your
next.
city next. Oh
So
my
make
God.
sure y'all stay tuned in on May 17th. We'll be doing a virtual event.
Yes.
So May 17th, it don't matter where you stay at. You in California, Texas, New York, wherever you at, get the link. Hop on. We're gonna talk about the green and red flags in friendship.
Friends or frenemies?
Okay.
Which one and what are they?
We wanted to start engaging you guys more into our conversation, and this is a great start. And then over the summer, we'll actually be doing live events. So if you're not already subscribed, following, stay tuned to all of our social media, because we just want y'all to be a part of this beautiful journey.
Yes, we want y'all to join the conversation.
Yes.
And be a part of it, because without y'all, we would be nothing, essentially. So if you are interested in joining our conversation virtually, you can go over to Social Homebodies Club on Instagram, send them a quick DM, and they will send you a link. Make sure you RSVP before May, I'm gonna say, we'll get back to you on the date.
Yeah.
But do it ASAP, okay?
Yeah, do it right
ASAP.
now.
Do it
Stop
right
what you're
now.
doing. Do it right now.
Do it. And then for our live events, we will get you up to detail on when that is, where that is. So just stay tuned, like Dom said. Stay tuned with us. Lock in, subscribe, get on our TikTok, get on our Instagram, so you do not miss out on these events. This is the beginning of something very great, very special. That was like part of the vision. Speaking of having goals and manifesting and having a growth mindset, like we literally wrote down, like physically wrote down what we wanted for Peaches and Cream, and it was always to have actual events where we can be in community and just like connect with people in real time. So this is something, I mean, just, it's big for us. It's so big, and we're so excited to share this with you guys. So yeah, we can't wait to see y'all.
And also we're on Spotify too, if you haven't already. So if you're on your way to work, or you at work, you want to plug us in your ear. If you want a treadmill, Spotify. We're gonna be on more platforms as we continue to grow. So super excited.
See y'all there.
Yes. And that's episode 2. It's a wrap. Bye.
Ciao.